the surface here, and I've got titanium white, lemon yellow, permanent alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, ivory black, and a little bit of acrylic matte medium, because what I want to do, and I'm going to moisten my colors just a little bit, is I want to try to mix up my sky color here, but I want it to be kind of permanent. So I'm mixing in some of this acrylic matte medium in hopes that the sky will dry and I can paint over it as kind of like basically an acrylic background, and that it won't reactivate. I also kind of want my sky to be fairly dark. So I've kind of mixed it up a little bit darker than I normally would, but that's because I want there to be a lot of contrast. With my scene. A little bit of sky hole back in here. Okay, maybe that'll work. I might kind of try to, since this is acrylic, I'm not sure, but I don't know if I want it to really dry on the palette, so I might kind of try to clean some of this off so that it's not permanent just on the painting. That's probably good enough. And then likewise, I might switch to a little different brush here. Likewise, I want to get in the background trees that kind of poke through in here. Also gonna kind of wet this brush. I'm gonna mix some ultramarine blue, and some tight black. I'm at park here. I'll mix kind of all the colors to get a desaturated darkish green. Again, use some of this acrylic matte medium. Maybe lower that intensity of that. I'm sort of okay with some of the background showing through as well, because that's sort of the part of the purpose of an underpainting. In this case, it's not really an underpainting, but an undercolor. The tone surface of this paper, this is Mi Tintes paper from Canson. But they make these boards, which I think are originally used for matting, framing, and stuff like that. But the paper itself is archival, and it's archivally glued to a board, and so I kind of have been experimenting with painting on top of it. So this is the first time I've ever done this, but this is kind of an experiment in utilizing acrylic and gouache together. And I like that, like I'm able to get sky holes because that acrylic layer is dried. Just while I have this on the brush, I'll put in just a couple other shadows that we see under some of the shrubberies. Okay, wash that brush out. Likewise, I'm gonna clean this part of the palette if I can. I can see just the way that's breaking up, that's that acrylic. But I think so far we're good right now. I'm trying to think if I need any other acrylic right now. I'll maybe spritz this just in case I need that. I do feel like my sky is like a little bit desaturated or like slightly transparent, but think we'll live with it. I'm going to clean the brush, and I want to mix up some of my brightest highlight right now. So I'm going to use some white. Now we're not using any medium, but I'm going to use just a little bit of yellow. Maybe just a tiny bit of red. Because I kind of want an orangey light to this. Maybe a little bit more yellow or white. I know this is hard to see mixing it on the palette, but this is so that I can kind of reference what my brightest bright is. Just a little too transparent. Spritz this slightly. It's kind of a breezy day. And I'm getting sort of a good likeness here that I like. I'm enjoying kind of the contrast here in the brightness. So, clean the brush, and let's get the shadow side. Which it's kind of mostly blue and maybe just a little bit of red in there. Maybe like a little bit too dark. Mix a little bit of white into that. That works. We do see a little bit of that color in here. Okay, cool. Let's mix up some of our brights to get kind of the ground plane in. Actually, I'm going to switch to my big brush. I like how watery that is. I don't want to be quite so transparent. Add some white into it. White always helps make things more opaque. That's why you can actually paint with watercolor and just add white gouache, and voila, you've got gouache. I'll put some of that light down in here too. Let's turn this into a brown. Mix black and red into it. And a little bit of white. Do want to bring that tonal value down quite a bit. I think I need to spritz my colors again, just because there's a little bit of a breeze. But every time I do that, I do run the risk of getting a little bit too watery, which I think I did, but it's okay. Kind of dry the brush. Put in like some, this needs more, it needs more red. I think it's too green. Okay, I like that. Fair enough. Actually going to place tricky. Okay, cool. Let's see, I kind of need the sidewalk color. It's kind of like this brownish color, but obviously much brighter. Let's try dropping this in. See how that works for now. And I got too watery, as you can see, so sort of transparent.
Guy's good. You're
Hey,
good.
thank you.
Keep it up.
Thanks. I'm noticing that some of these grasses are a lot more blue, and I need to kind of desaturate quite a bit. Let's see what we can do with this. Okay. I got the same thing over here, kind of. And I'll probably put some highlights on that later. Just kind of trying to get in all the stuff. Cool. Cool, shaping up. So now we kind of get to the flag, the thing that we actually need to do, the focal point. And I want to get in the flag pole, and I should do the shadow side first. This is a tricky business. There goes nothing. Okay, that works. Wow. Okay. That was the most stressful thing I've done all year. I'm just kidding. Feels like it. And let's get in our highlight, which is pretty much pure white. With a little bit of yellow mixed in. Okay, so we kind of need to start getting in the flag and start wrapping this up. You know, maybe get some details in. So I'm going to bust out my smallest brush here. And let's see, let's get in the blue. And now I'm going to mix in quite a bit of black. Those folds in. Then likewise I'm going to do the red. When I look at it, I can't just use pure alizarin, I don't think. I need to warm it up a little bit. Okay. Trying to get some of those ripples in there. And then we'll come in with the shadow now, which will be, I think, pure alizarin. Maybe add just a tad bit of blue to it as well. Cool. Now we'll do the whites. Clean that brush more. The reds really stick in your brush. I'm gonna spritz my paint. So let's go for the shadow side. I'll mix some of this white and a little bit of blue. Maybe a little bit of black. Maybe a little bit of red or yellow, just a tad bit. Okay, let's try this color. And basically where I've put the shadows for the red are kind of where the folds are, I'm seeing. think the rest... No, let me do a little bit here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the rest as pure white highlight. I'm going to take some of those and also make some stars. And we'll do the darker color in the shadows. Cool. I really like that. I really like that. It looks like the flag is moving, which is sweet. Okay. Now, likewise, I've got this POW, missing an action flag. We've got, it is a black flag, so basically I'm going to mix some pure black for the shadows. And then we'll lighten it up. For the part that's in sunlight. Okay. And then we'll kind of do the same. I'll use pure white for some of the emblem that's in sunlight. Okay, that works. I want to create kind of a brown color for the goldeny bronze part that sits at the top of this thing. So I'm just going to mix some blue into the shadow, or into this orange that I mixed up a while ago. Put something here. And then I'm going to mix a little bit of black into that. And then I'm going to mix a highlight. Okay, feeling pretty good about this. Let's see, what can we do to add more highlights or details? What do I need to do? Let's create some more greens. Some foreground texture.